Hari Om. A small analysis on the line of a song sung by Sadasiva Brahmendra. In one Kirtana he says, Smara Varam Varam, Smara Nanda Kumaram. Smara Varam Varam, that means every day. Smara Nanda Kumaram. So, chant the holy name of the Lord of Lords. So, Nanda Kumaram. So, why he said like that? So, what is the reason on insisting to chant the holy name of the Lord time and again, time and again? So, Varam Varam means again and again, again and again. So, why he insisted to chant like that? What is the reason behind that? Actually, to say any action, maybe a physical or a mental, when we do the actions repeatedly, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, we will try to do to the best of our ability. So, even in thinking also, when a positive thought comes to our mind, then our thoughts move towards quality thoughts. And from the quality thoughts, we try to do to the best of our abilities. And here, why is said, especially as to the Lord's name is concerned, He wanted us to think again and again, to chant again and again His name. Because chanting His holy name itself is a kind of yoga. It's a kind of yoga. It is not, because it is not so easy to chant the Lord's name amidst our workaday fast world. We are in the fast world actually. Even though if we want to talk to anybody, we have to create time. We have to make time to call to somebody and talk. Otherwise we cannot talk. Because it is a busy life for everybody. So, and especially when the social media is in its zenith, it is not so easy for anybody to call and talk or to just address somebody, to say hello also. So, in the same way, when we are so busy in this working world, we don't find a time when we can sit and chant His name for some time. In the olden days, or even till now also, some people, they take the beads of 108 beads and they go on turning, that means turning the beads, taking the name of the Lord, whatever it is, either the Panchakshari or the Ashtakshari or the Dwadasakshari, whatever it is. Even then, only one time they may be able to do, not all the time. So and sometimes there may be a time then we may not be able to chant His name. We forget. Because our physical, like hunger or sleep or the other things, they are more concerned to us. And this we don't remember. So when we don't remember in our daily life itself, how can we remember His name when the time comes, when we want to think of Him, when we want the tongue to say His name? So, and another thing is, when we taste a sweet, then we feel like eating again and again. Because that is the madhuram, what we say, madhuram. I mean, the sweetness or the nectar, like we feel like eating it again and again. So, in the same way as the devotees feel. So here, when the holy name comes to the ears, or they take to the tongue to chant it, they become so holy. Vibrations start, and so they feel like chanting again and again. But first, it must become a habit. It's not a once in a way work. It's not once in a way. Like once in a way we go to Tirupati, or once in a way we go to Kasi, or once in a way we go to some other place. It's not like that. It is something different. Because by chanting the holy name, we are experiencing the vibrations of the Lord that is present in us. That is actually present in us. So we know that He is present, but we are unaware. Because we never try to dig into ourselves and think about that. So we never feel like that. But by chanting the holy name again and again and again, smara varam varam, what happens is that the name itself, it is so powerful that the vibrations go throughout from our heart, from the tongue to the heart to the mind and everything. And we feel the glory of the name, and by chanting the name. So what we get it. So actually we may think that it is difficult, but it is not difficult. Only thing is we must get used. Like suppose we say every day a newspaper boy comes, he puts newspapers, and one day the newspaper doesn't come, then we feel so much. And we think today newspaper did not come, so how can I pass my day? So despite so much of social media, there is a TV, there is a YouTube, there is so many other things, yet we feel if the paper boy doesn't put the paper one day. Because it has become a habit to read the paper right as soon as we get up and by sipping the coffee, we'll feel like reading the newspaper. So in the same way, if the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, it becomes a habit, not one-time chance. Because life is a one-time chance. So one-time chance in this life, we have to do to the best of our abilities. We have to live to the best of our abilities. And we have to surrender to God. We have to submit ourselves to God. How can we submit without knowing the taste of His holy name? How can we eat a fruit? How can we eat? If we see a fruit, then we feel it's so beautiful. Then if we eat, then we feel it's so sweet. Again we feel like eating. If we taste a sweet, we feel that it's so sweet. Again we feel like eating a sweet. So in the same way, the Lord's name also is such a nectar only, that once it falls into our ears, we feel how sweet it is, how melodious it is. And the tongue, when it goes on saying the beautiful name, the holy name of the Lord, the tongue experiences the sweetness of the Lord's name. And it never forgets, because it goes into the heart. So actually, as we have already told, what the heart takes, the mind cannot delete. But if the mind takes, the heart will delete. It will delete. So if it goes into the mind will delete everything. But if it goes into the heart, the mind cannot delete. So the heart will always go on chanting. And because it experiences the bliss, the sweetness, the melody of the holy name of the Lord. And by chanting the holy name, we also experience the vibrations, and we feel like chanting again and again. As soon as we get up, and even at the time of sleeping, we think that we have to think of the God, we have to pray we have to take His name at least 50 times or 100 times. It is a matter of only 5 minutes. In 24 hours in a day, if we can't spare 5 minutes to the Lord for taking His name, how can in the life we can take His holy name when we want? It's so absurd. Really, it's so absurd. It's not possible. It's impossible. It's impossible. So that's why I think Sadasiva Brahmendra in that Kirtan he said, Smara Varam Varam. Smara Varam Varam Smara Nanda Kumaram. So if we go on chanting the Lord's holy name, the holy name will be in the tip of our tongue, and without our hard thinking to think of His name, it will come out automatically, and we chant His name again and again. So this is it is a blessing in disguise for all of us. Hari Om.